Hey, welcome back, knife nerds and everyday carry people. It's the Big Knacker coming at you here today. And today I want to have a look at a knife that I have recently picked up. I just want to say thank you to Steve, gentleman out in Calgary, Alberta. We did a little bit of swapping. And he had a Native 5 lightweight in the S110V for sale. And we did a little bit of horse trading. And I just want to say thank you so much, Steve. And I do appreciate the fact that you and I were able to make a deal. And he's also a subscriber. So hey, thank you so much, and appreciate it. Now, just kind of want to go over this knife. Now, I haven't had this knife for a long time. I've only had it for a couple of weeks, and in that couple of weeks, I am really quite high on this knife. It seems to be a great little blade. Now, of course, I put my lanyard on it, and I put my hair woodland edge on it. Now, I was told that he only sharpened it a couple of times, or even one time, I think, just kind of touched it up. It's the S110V holds a really, really great edge. That's one of the things about this knife is it is an absolute cutter. And it cuts for a long, long time. So let's do a little bit of size comparison. Now, I don't have my Lucky Toonie anymore. It's in the pocket of my 3-year-old granddaughter, who now knows, or actually knows, what Annie is. So she came as I was sitting on my knee. We were at my computer here watching some cartoons, and she wanted to put that in her pocket to go get herself a treat. So, of course, Papa, being the big sucker that I am, she could take that. I don't know, could have been a $100 bill there. And of course, Papa's such a big sucker with his granddaughter that she was able to take that and put it in her pocket. So now we've got a Lucky Looney. We'll see how long we can hold on to that one for. All right, here, size comparison. Of course, we've got the Paramilitary 2, which is, you know what, everybody seems to think the Paramilitary 2 is one of your absolutely fantastic EDC staples. It is, you know, the godfather of EDC. So you can see that it's a little bit smaller than that. And of course, we've also got the Dragonfly down here. So that gives you an idea of what size this knife is. As you can see, your Dragonfly is the, you know, not quite the baby. Of course, you've got the Man Bug and stuff like that. That's quite a bit smaller yet, but this seems to be the lowest that I would like to go for EDC, this little Dragonfly with the ZDP 189 steel, which is a great steel in itself, but you've got that, and then you've got this, which is a little bit. Now, when people pull out, say, the Paramilitary 2 with this sharp point on it, it seems like it's a little bit of a tactical blade. You know, some people could think that's a little bit murdery, but you get something this size that will do a heck of a lot of work. 3-inch blade on this, and it's not as intimidating as, say, something like the Paramilitary 2. And that's the reason I got this, was to be able to throw this in my, say, a pair of dress pants and take it out and cut something when I needed to. But so that gives you the size of this. So let's go over some of the specs, all right? Your overall length is 6.8 inches. So not quite 7 inches. Your blade length is 3 inches long, which seems to be, I think, kind of the bottom end of some being able to get some real work done. Like you can do some cutting here. You can do some great work with this. You can cut some cardboard into it, but sometimes when you're looking at some real hard work with a knife, this seems to be just a little bit lacking, where I think your 3-inch blade is kind of the minimum you'd kind of want to go through. Cutting edge is 2.44 inches, and your braid thickness is 0.13, which I do believe is around 3 and a bit millimeters. So it still has kind of a nice thick edge. You can see here that it is very, very similar to your Paramilitary 2, so you're not going to be skimping in, so say, the toughness aspect, and you can see that it's also got you know, it tapers down to a really nice fine edge, so it allows you to do lots of cutting on it. Okay, it's a fully flat ground with a very, very small swedge here along the top, and that swedge is really nice for just a little bit of looks. I think it just adds to the beauty of this particular knife. Your handle length is 4 inches, And sorry, going on with your blade, you've got a satin finish on your blade with a choil here too as well. It's not quite a 50-50 choil. I would say it's maybe kind of a 55-45 choil here, but it allows you to choke up. It allows you to get really a good grip on this knife with it. You got the jimping here, and you've got jimping there, which is really, Spyderco does a great job with its jimping. It allows you to have a great grip on the knife, but it's not so bad that it's going to cut into your hands if you're having to, really bear down and do some cutting. It's not going to tear apart your hands. All right, so now the handle material is actually the FRN, the fiberglass reinforced nylon with the bidirectional grip on this. So it is really a great grippy knife. Now, the one thing here I'm a little bit surprised is usually with the FRN, they kind of put the as far as I'm concerned, I think the best or one of the best clips out there is the wire clip. That's the one thing that I wish this had. It had the wire clip. Now this clip is the spoon clip of Spyderco is still a good clip. It's just so much, the wire clip is just so much nicer. Now it allows you to have, with the clip here, it allows you to have a tip up, tip down, or a left and right hand carry. So it is fully ambidextrous. And it also allows you to, without losing any space, you've got the center lanyard hole in your clip here, which is really nice. I love to have lanyard clips on a lanyard on all my knives. They're just so handy to have when you pull them out of your pocket with your pinky finger. Of course, there are some knives that are, I think, your real dressy knives that you want to kind of throw in your front pocket without having this piece of leather hanging out. And of course, I understand those too as well. But there. So the handle thickness here is 0.43 inches, or just a little under ½ inch. It is a backlock, and it is a, if you have a look inside there, it is completely FRN. There is no stainless steel liners with this at all, but it doesn't seem to detract on the toughness of the knife. Now, I haven't used this knife for years and years or anything like that, but I have put it through its paces and cutting some pretty heavy-duty cardboard. I looked at cutting some really heavy-duty rope, and I did a little bit of wood whittling with this, and it, was flying colors. I have absolutely no reason to think that without these liners that this knife is going to be not as tough as something. It is, the FRN is really bulletproof. I'm sure it could probably be just a smidge more rigid. As you can see, it pinches in a little bit, but we're not always going to be pinching our knives. All right, now, but I think one of the real fantastic things about this particular knife is the fact that it's 2.45 ounces. Extremely light knife, and that's, they call it the lightweight, and it is really light. You throw this in your pocket, you throw this into a pack, you throw it into a set of dress pants, and it's not going to be so heavy that it's going to be sagging. You're not even going to notice it. This is a great knife if you're doing some backpacking out, about in the countryside, and weight is a big concern. At 2.45 ounces, it is hardly even there. Extremely light. Now, of course, you've got the Spyderco thumb hole, and it is, even with this FRN handle, there is no washers there whatsoever. Your blade is running right on your FRN, and it allows you to flick it right out. So it is, it has a, not quite drop shut, but it is, it drops shut a little bit, but this is not a real flickitude knife that you're going to sit and, some of the Spyderco knives, especially the flippers, or, your knives that are out there, they're going to be a knife to sit and watch some TV and flick open and have some fun with, or this is not going to be as flicky as a lot of the other Spydercos out there. But I was really curious about the S110V steel, and so far, what I've seen, I liked. Now, I put kind of a mirror polish edge on here, and I was a little bit concerned about this knife, sharpening this knife. I'd heard some horror stories about it, and I sharpened my K2, Spyderco K2 with the CPM 10V steel on it, which is a very similar than the S110V. This one here is more stainless steel than the 10V. This is way more stain resistant, and I had a real heck of a time trying to sharpen that 10V. It took forever. It was like I'd take my my diamond KME stones, and it would skate across that edge, and it was almost like it was a file skating across hardened steel. This, it seemed to be a little bit, well, actually it seemed to be quite a bit easy to sharpen. You know, a lot of that may have been to the fact that I wasn't looking at laying back the edge. It looks like coming out of the box, this is right around an 18-degree edge, and I just pretty much kept what the factory edge was on it rather than trying to look, you know, because I like to lay back my edges to around 15 degrees. But with this, I decided to just keep it at, you know, the factory 18 or so, and it seemed like it was a really easy sharpen. Now, the other thing that I am going to be doing to this, and I wish Spartaco would do with theirs, is put sharpening trails on there. I know I have a video out there that shows you how to put a sharpening trail. I've got some small diamond rods, and they're a perfect, you know, it'll take me about 10 minutes, and I will put a little sharpening trail in there, and it prevents you from kind of getting that recurve, and it's just, I think they look good, and I think it's just an excellent thing to do with the knife. Now, this here, you know, the color is with the S110V, lots of times they have a blurple. Well, this just seems to be a dark blue. It seems to be a nice, you know, kind of classic color. The fit and finish on this knife is, you know, it is well put together for what it is. It's a golden Colorado knife. I suppose about the only thing that's a little bit disappointing is it bears just a little bit to the left here. Not quite as, you know, I mean, but I'm you know, a lot of us knife snobs that'll bother, and I look at it and sometimes I wish it was like, how can I get that? And I'm sure I could loosen the pivot, loosen everything up, and give it a little bit of a tweak, and I could have that dead center, but I'm not gonna, you know, waste my time over that. I will, I'll put the OCD away, and I'll just live with that. But this knife is really quite easy to take apart. 1, 2, 3 screws, and they're all, I do believe, a T8 screw, even the pivot. And then you've got a center, kind of a stop pin here too as well here. Or no, it's actually that is your rocker pin for your back lock. But really easy knife to maintain. I'm sure you could take this knife out into the sand and the muck and the grit, and, you know, use it, and then take it and dunk it in a parts washer or run it under some water and blow it dried, and you're good to go. Extremely tough, a handy, capable little knife for what it is. You know, a 3-inch blade that I think is at the very bottom end of your EDC, but this knife is extremely capable, and it's something that I'm going to enjoy carrying for a long, long time. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to probably give this knife I'm going to say probably a 6. It loses a little bit because it's not completely centered, and the fact that it's not as flicky as I'd like it to be. So, still a very handy knife. Will work fine for, I'm going to say 99% of your EDC needs, and it's something that I would definitely kind of put in my collection again. Given the opportunity to purchase this again, I certainly would so far. All right. Well, I just want to say, you know, thanks for stopping by. If you like what you see, if you like what you saw, please give me a thumbs up, and also please subscribe. I really appreciate it. And in the light of what's going on, please stay safe out there. You know, take some your social distancing seriously. Wash your hands. Please stay safe from the old COVID-19 virus. I also want to say thank you so much for stopping by. Please stay safe. Keep your stick on the ice and your shiny side up. And this is the Big Connector saying goodbye.